Hello again, everybody. Mski361 here, back with a special video. Got our buddy on here, Mski361. He's at almost 200 subs, and he has decided to put on a little contest to thank everybody for watching his videos and everything, like a lot of us have done. And I think it's pretty cool. He puts out some excellent videos. He's got a great collection. Always has a neat intro to his videos, which is usually the intro part to one of the old Marvel cartoons from the 60s or 70s, which is really neat to see. I really love those, and sure, a lot of us know his channel already. Like I said, he puts out a lot of great videos. Has done a lot of trades with people, and sent a lot of people just random packages for no reason other than he's a really nice guy. Anyway, contest he's doing right now, he's got a couple of different ways for you to enter, and one of those is recently he was able to come across another copy of the first comic that he ever purchased, and it was Brave and the Bold issue. He has his original one from when he was a kid, but he came across another copy and picked it up recently, and I'm sure that brought back a lot of memories. And he's decided to let people do a video on their first comic book, or the first book that they remember purchasing or being given, you know, whatever you remember. And I thought that was really cool. It made me really think, because I don't know, I think back, and it's really hard to remember the exact first comic that I ever read, or the first book that I ever picked up. I'm sure it was a kid, and you know, my mom or someone would have bought it for me. I tried thinking, and just I kept thinking about this one book. It's not really a comic, but I remember as a kid I read it. I always liked reading, and I tried to read like a book a week, you know, little kid books. And I had this a book. It was based on Walt Disney characters, and ends up being a Whitman published Big Little book. And like I said, it's not a comic, but it does have it's got story on one page and basically a comic panel on the right page. So it's story and art together, so it's very much like a comic book. These are taken from old Disney cartoons and Disney comic books. I actually remember seeing some of this in old Disney cartoons. But this is one of the earliest things I remember that was comic book like, that kind of got me started into that whole genre. I still have this. I found out, I was over at my parents' house helping my dad do some work on his car, on his truck actually, but I went into some of my old stuff, and still have a bookshelf in my old room that still has a lot of my old novels and things there, a lot of books when I was a kid, and this was still there. And this is from, I'm sure my mom found this at a yard sale or flea market or something. This was printed, doesn't have Arabic numerals, it's in Roman numerals. MCM LXVII. I think it's 1968. So this is fairly old. Like I said, it's in pretty bad condition. You can see here, one time there was a sticker, probably a price sticker, it may have been something I put on there as a kid. It's all tan pages, but it's goofy and giant trouble. And I'll show you. See, it's got story on one page and pictures on the other, black and white panels, and they all have a little caption at the bottom like this is Goofy fall on a plane, he's like, yo! And there's even one, you remember the old Goofy scream when he goes over a cliff and he's like, ooh! There's a panel of that in here, I remember. I remember keeping this on my old bed. It had one of those headboards with the little sliding drawers that slid this way, and they were kind of like bookshelves. I used to keep books in there and things, little toys and stuff. And I remember keeping this there. This has got Mickey in it as well. There's a panel with Mickey. You see, it was pretty cool. I was glad that this was still there, so that I can try to start taking a little better care of it. Now, as far as actual comics, there's kind of two things that really got me started into comic books, other than the Big Little Book and you know, old Spider-Man cartoons that I watched in reruns, Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four, things like that, Super Friends. I don't remember which happened first, because I was fairly young, but there was a guy that lived up the street, and he was a little older than me. And one day he comes down with a shoebox full of comics and he gives them to me. And I remember this is before I really started getting into comics and like going to the comic shop and things like that. And the issues that really caught me and stood out in my mind were these reprints of Mighty Thor in Marvel Spectacular. This issue here in particular, I took this to school at one time when we were studying Greek and Norse myths and Egyptian myths, and I took this as an example of how those myths can still be relevant today. So there was this one and this one here where he's battling Ulick the Troll. This here, he fights the growing man. This is one of my favorite covers. And then this here, it's where he fights the Wrecker. And that was really cool to be given some older books. And like I said, that's from reading these is where I started, you know, watching newsstands more and picking up more comics off the newsstand. Really got into collecting. And this may have happened a little before I was given those books. These are the first two books I actually remember, you know, seeing on a shelf somewhere or in a store, and you know, asking for them to be bought for me. I remember went up to Georgia Mountains with my mom, my sister, and grandmother, and I think we're just there for the day, just riding around looking at the mountains. It's probably springtime. They like to go up there and watch the flowers bloom. Or it was in the fall, as we used to go up there and, of course, you know, see the leaves change and everything. I remember we stopped at a little country store on some back road there at the mountains just above Helen, Georgia, and they had a little spinner rack with back issue comics, and they were like $1 a piece or something. And I remember grabbing these two. For some reason, they really caught my eye. There was this Flash, Flash number 319. I remember thinking this was a cool cover. It looks like the Flash is, you know, going to tear somebody apart. He's going so fast. And the other issue was Justice League of America number 183. And this featured characters from the Justice Society and the New Gods. And I remember reading this one and thinking how cool that was. There's a partner where Superman he's been to New Genesis before, and he's remarking on how amazing it was to be around people that were like him. Everybody has powers. They're all the New Gods, you know. Everybody has superpowers, and it's kind of like the first time he really felt like he fit in. He didn't have to pretend to be anybody other than himself, Superman. which is really cool. And it turns out this is part of the Return of Darkseid storyline, and is a pretty hot book now. Neither one of them are in great shape. They're probably in VG plus, maybe fine minus. But yeah, that's the first 2 issues that I remember actually, buying. My mom bought them for me, but first 2 I ever remember actually, asking for when I saw them. So, yep. So that's it. I wish I was like a lot of people and could, remember the actual very first comic that I read, or first comic that I actually picked up somewhere. But to the best of my memory, these are the first 2 that I ever picked up, and these were the first that I was given. There was a stack of books, about like this, so Tarzan and Black Panther and all. These were the first ones I read out of it. Really caught my eye and got me wanting to track down more books. And again, it was so cool to actually find that this was still there at my parents' house, and to see, remember these old pictures. So anyway, that's pretty cool. So congratulations, Mski. Hopefully you'll be up to 300-400 subs soon. You definitely deserve it. And thanks for putting on this contest. It's a really neat idea, and brought back some cool memories for me, which is always really cool. Nostalgia. So that's why we collect these things, right? So yeah, thanks again, man. Congratulations all. Everybody check out his channel if you haven't, for some reason. Go do that now. I'll leave a link below. Please check him out. Great videos. Thanks again to everybody, and until next time, take care. Keep reading those books. Later.